Listen. Do you mind if I put my 2 cents in?
No, honey, I don't mind.
Call the police immediately.
I don't get it.
No idea what you're talking about. Yes? Hello? Hi, stranger.
I want ham and eggs and flapjacks with lots of butter and syrup and coffee. I'll take the coffee now.
Why are you coming from that
Where's my dough?
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Vibes and Stuff Live in the Morning. It's your host, Chuck Allen, holding it down for your host, Uncle Freezy. Vibrant ones, good morning. How are you doing? Yeah, man. It's another beautiful day here in the NYC. It's June 9th, 8:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, man. It's your host, Chuck Allen. Welcoming you all to Vibes and Stuff Live this morning. If it's your first time joining us, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click all notifications. That when we upload something or we go live, you'll know and you'll come kick it with us. You know, and make sure you hit that like button, man. It ain't gonna cost you nothing. Just hit that like button, man. Do us a favor, man. Uh, Salute to the vibrant ones that are in the building. Subliminal 209, what it do? What it do? Yes, sir. Um, yes, sir. So we want to send a special shout out and prayer to Uncle Freezy having a little procedure this morning. You know, we just want to make sure that he's a okay and he comes through. Never take anything for granted. Shout out to Uncle Freezy early this morning. Um, well, let's go ahead and jump into it. We ain't got all the production value today, but we gonna make it do what it do. It right. All right, here we go. What's in my cup this morning? Y'all know how I do. I usually stay with the seltzer water, um, Mandarin orange to be exact. And the weather for today, Thursday, June 9th. One more day to the weekend, man. Are y'all excited for the weekend? Anybody got anything special coming up for this weekend? Um, right now here in the city it's cloudy. Like it rained earlier this morning. Um, there's a slight chance of rain rest of the day. The temperature is 72. We're gonna get a high of 82. Um, but like I said, it's pretty much cloudy right now, and it's gonna be like that most of the day. Um, so now that we got all of the formalities out the way, um, there's something that I want to jump straight into this morning. I seen the story a couple days ago, and I wanted to speak to um, the climate of the country, the climate of the country, because man, the value of life is at an all time low. Um, the ability to kill at will is at an all time high. Um, I just, I just, I don't understand, and and the casualties of these acts are getting younger. The perpetrators in some of these crimes are getting younger. Like what is really going on? Um, Salute the Bodega Wi-Fi in the building. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Bodega, I do agree that the country is divided, but why? Why are we divided? I know we're not going to see eye to eye on everything, but just some things, man, can't be ignored. So, the story that I'm referring to this morning comes out of Orlando, right? And a 10-year-old girl, um, sh- she is being charged with second degree murder for shooting a woman that got into a fight with her mother. Um, so the story reads as follows. I'm reading this from the Orlando, one of the Orlando publications. And it says a judge ruled on Wednesday a 10-year-old girl who was arrested on murder charge after fatally shooting a woman fighting her mother would stay in custody. The girl, who News Six is now identifying, who is not identifying at this time, was arrested Tuesday and facing second degree murder charges. The girl's attorney is asking the judge to release her on ankle monitor to her father's custody and argues she is being severely traumatized in the juvenile detention center. The state told the judge they believe the 10-year-old girl should be kept in juvenile detention, with the judge ultimately ruling the girl would remain in custody. Um, and the argument is she has absolutely no record. She is severely traumatized. The juvenile detention center was not set up to take care of kids this young. Her defense attorney says the girl's father made a passionate plea to the judge for release in his custody. Um, the father says, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that my daughter gets all the help that she needs. Uh, the story goes on. I really don't want to read it all, but the gist of the story, the part that I want to speak on is why are 10-year-old kids murdering someone? Now, if you follow the story, if you heard this story, um, the mother, 31-year-old woman. Uh, Let me see if I can find her. Yes, Lucretia Isaac, 31, got into a physical altercation with LaShawn Denise Rogers, 41. There's a 10-year-old difference, a 10-year age gap, right? Not sure why these women are in the same situation. It don't seem like they're family. Um, so anyway, 31, the mother gets into a physical altercation. Uh, and during the fight, Isaac hands a bag to her daughter that contained a gun. The police said the girl fired 2 rounds that hit Rogers. She was taken to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. While the girl was arrested, the uh, the state's attorney office released a statement said that no charging decision has been made. But since then, they have charged the girl with second-degree murder. Um, Witnesses reported he, he heard the girl shout before shooting, "She shouldn't have hit my mama." The girl's mother charges of manslaughter by culpable negligence, aggravated assault with a gun, negligent storing of a gun, and and neglect of a child from the incident. Um, I agree with all. Yeah, man. Um, there's so much wrong with that story. Um, why is a child out that time of night? Why are you out that time of night intoxicated with your child? Why would you get into an altercation when you're with your child there? Did someone do something to your child? Were you trying to protect your child? Like what's going on? Um, and then you hand the bag to your child. Why? Were you handed it to her so you could finish fighting, or did you know that gun was in there and you knew your child would do exactly what she did? Um, this baby's 10, and there's a strong chance that this child is going to spend all of her life, or maybe a majority, because a child that young um, will probably get a second chance. Um, but that's not going to be for a while. She might be 30 when that opportunity comes. So that's 20 years. This kid's been in jail. All of her formative years is now going to be structured around the penal system. Whatever she learned at 10 goes out the window. Um, I know that. I can. Yeah. Salute. Bodega Wi-Fi. Florida has stand your ground law, and it's very clear. Yeah, I get that. Absolutely. Right. But does stand your ground apply to minors? I just I'm 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 trying not to get too emotional over this, but this is a child. Like, she was that afraid for her mother. Her mother was getting washed like that. Um, why was pulling the gun, you know, the first or the only thing that this child did? Why not pick up the phone, call the police? Why is a child outside that time of night? Um, why are you intoxicated with your child? Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I know parents, I know adults drink. Um, I've been in situations where I had to drive home, younger than a mug. You know what I'm saying? I had to drive home, but uh, that doesn't excuse, you know, the negligent behavior of the adults that I was with. It was definitely something that happened, so I can understand, but uh, man, three lives destroyed. I agree. I agree. Sub might as well have just thrown the strap to her. She knew what she was doing. That kid never had a chance. She didn't, and she doesn't. Um, the father had the new has to. Um, I don't want to say accept responsibility, but the fact that you're in jail saying, you're at the hearing saying you're going to give your daughter everything that she needs, sir. Like, where were you? Um, like, why is your kid? Why is your child in these circumstances? Like, there's so much I wanna get into, but I don't want to sound preachy, and I don't want this to be a heavy uh vibes and stuff in the morning, you know, because vibes and stuff, we're here to help you get through your day. Have light-hearted conversations. Sometimes we have to have the real difficult conversations, you know, and I feel like this is one of them where it's like um everyone chooses violence like that. Like, it's not even a second thought behind it. It's automatic. We're talking about a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old little girl bussing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was no hesitation. And and if that statement is true, if someone did hear, well, she shouldn't have messed with my mama. um what is that saying? Like, yeah, you should protect your mom. You should protect your dad. You should stand up for them. But she 10, she shouldn't have been out there. Right. I mean, that's natural. But I'm just saying, man, because there was no reason, uh like I said, there was no reason for that child to be out there. If anybody was going to jail for shooting someone or murdering someone, not saying that that was right or should have been done, but it should have been the mother. Wow. Wow. Bodega Wi-Fi just says, in Florida a few years ago, a lady who was abused by her ex-husband and had an order of protection against him went to jail for 20 years for firing a warning shot. Yeah, Florida has some stuff, man. Oh, okay. So she had an opportunity to escape. So, Bodega, let me ask you this: since you're familiar with Florida law, how does this apply to the young girl? Because the altercation didn't have anything to. It was between her mother and another adult, and from the reports on the scene, um, the 10-year-old girl's mother, Jakiria or whatever her name is, um, she started the altercation. She started the altercation, and she was getting bested. So I don't know how much danger the young girl was in. Um, maybe her mother was in danger. Maybe her mother was getting washed, and the young girl reacted. But yeah, I'm disturbed, man. I don't know. Like I'm seeing more and more young women. Uh, yeah, man. I don't. I'm almost at a loss for words. Like our young people are I don't want to say are out of control, but there's clearly something wrong when you have so many mass shootings, so many teenagers and young people taking their own lives. Um, you're having more and more situations where these violent acts of crimes are committed by younger and younger assailants. Oh yeah, the mother is absolutely culpable. Like she destroyed her life and her daughter's life under the influence. You know, again, I ask, where's the father in this situation? You know, um, to all the brothers, the men um, that are in the chat, you have to be. If you're not married and you're single like I am, and you're out here doing what single people do, uh, vet these broads who you have sex with, man, because nothing about this woman um, seems like she was a candidate to be a mother. You know, I just, I, I, I feel bad. I feel bad because um, jail is a tough place for adults. I can only imagine a child who's acting off emotions, child who wasn't thinking rationally, and in a split second, her whole life changes. She is no longer a child. She will no longer be looked upon as that. Um, and in prison is survival of the fittest. These detention centers are ruthless. I don't know what that child was like prior to this incident. Um, but you're gonna have to grow up fast um, when you're become a part of the penal system. Um, and it's a never ending nightmare. You're not going home. Right. And that's the thing that I'm saying. Why would you even do that as a mother? Like what type of time are you on? If she has other children, they need to be taken away ASAP. Um, only because like why are you like if you a punk, shut up. Don't be out here thinking you Billy Badass. Don't poke your chest out like you want somebody to test you, because there will be someone to test you. You know, so many times, like I would see altercations, or even a couple of altercations that I've been in. People are quick to tell you where they from. I'm from Bed-Stuy. I'm from Brownsville. I'm from Decatur. I'm from Atlanta. I'm from New Orleans. And I'm looking like, what does that have to do with anything? Even telling me that you're from a rough part of town, like, what does that mean? A lot of people are from a rough part of town. W- Everybody that lives in a rough part of town ain't a gangster or a thug. Everybody's not with the stuff. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not built like that, regardless of your surroundings or where you from. Yeah, man. Um, because I know people right now, man, that aren't from the inner city, that aren't from uh, these notorious blocks that you hear about. Just regular old people, regular from West Bubble, and these ain't people to play with. Like, they're serious individuals. Like, where you from has nothing to do, but people lean on that stuff as if it means something. They're quick to, I'm from the hood. Well, guess what? There's pussies in the hood. Like, I don't understand why people, and then you write, then your mouth writes a check that your ass can't cash. And what you do is have your daughter make an adult decision and change the course of her life because you're a terrible mother. And I know you're saying, "Oh, Chuck, you can't be calling nobody a terrible mother. You're not a mother. You never bore a child. Like, you can't say that." Yo, man, I'm just that's how I see it. Parents are supposed to protect their child, even if something was happening. I'm trying to make sure that my kid is safe before I even engage this woman. Like, where's my child? Let me hold on. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Or if it was like that, then why you ain't shoot the girl? Why you ain't shoot the woman? Like, these are questions that I have. These are things that sometimes keep me up at night, just wrestling with them. Like, where do we go? Where are we going as a society? With all of the modern advances, technology is at an all-time high. All these advances in technology, and we uh we still act like cavemen. Man, I hope and I pray that that we someone from the generation um before can instill some a sense of pride. Um Folks, this ain't the movies where you get to just kill, 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 shoot, kill, 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 and nothing happens. Um, no, none of this violence is new. We have access to it more because of the advancement of technology, social media, 24-hour news cycles. Um, it's always it's in our face. Uh, We can see it now. Folks will pull out their phone and record some stuff happening versus calling the police. There are tragedies that happen, and there are more people standing by with their phones doing this than doing this. You know, and to me, that just doesn't make any. It doesn't make any sense. So you wanna stream or record this violent act so you can what, upload it, so you can get, you know, 1 million views in a couple hours. I just want, like, I'm trying to understand how we can do that. You know, everyone's so desensitized to the violence. You have a lot of people that will, you know, simple situation, man. Like a dude step on his, hey man, what would you do, man? The guy stepped on your shoe and asked you what you looking at. Man, I'll shoot him in the face. Like, like, damn. Over that. And part of me feel is because y'all ain't never had to kill nobody. Y'all never killed nobody. That's how easy for you to say, you know, because you're angry and you know you'll just wipe them from the face of the earth. Um, even in self-defense, you know what I mean? There's a little bit of justification. You know, I'm trying to preserve life, and then people. I don't know, man. I don't know. I tell you what, I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off my soapbox, but we have to really make some changes, people, or we're going to destroy ourselves, man. Um, to to all of the families that are involved in this tragedy out here in Orlando. Um, my thoughts and prayers go out to you. Um, to that little girl, man. Uh, I know she committed a horrible act, but somebody has to be to blame other than her. She 10. She's 10. You can't come tell me, oh well, she 18, she should know better. She's 10. I agree. I agree, Rome. Too much TV, man. There's no coming back from death. There's no extra life. There ain't no med pack to bring you back. You know, this is not like a GTA. You die and then you restart at the hospital. You know what I mean? So, parents be parents and not your child's friend. I'm not a parent, so I can't really tell you what to do or how to but I'm seeing a trend of parents being friends and not being parents. Um, we have to be more responsible as adults. Men, the women that we choose to sleep with. Um, everybody don't deserve our seed, bro. Everybody shouldn't be reproducing. There's some people that aren't qualified for the job. You ever heard that or had that said to you when you apply for a job? You don't have the experience. You're not qualified. There are a lot of men and women out there not qualified to have and rear children. That's just a fact. Um, yeah, man, soul ties are absolutely real. Absolutely. Okay. Or so yeah, man. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on from this topic. Um, but it's just sad, man. We got to do something. We got to do something for our neighborhoods, man. We got to do something for our communities. Um, to all of my black African American Negro, whatever you identify as, uh, it ain't the Ku Klux Klan doing this stuff, man. It's us to our own folks, man. Um, and with no remorse and no regret. There's no second thought to it. And I wish I had a solution, man. I wish I had something more to say than just complaining about what's going on. I don't know how to fix it, man. I don't know how to fix it. Um and it's not a situation that's going to be fixed overnight. Um Same way with the stuff that goes on in some of these inner cities with these kids, the Chicagos, the Brooklyns. Um I think I that's I think we can I think that is a part of the solution worth exploring right there. That is a solution worth exploring. Bodega Wi-Fi. Bodega Wi-Fi says if you have a weapon, you should have life insurance. You should have a life insurance policy. Bullets should cost more. Bullets should cost more. But here's the thing: when you start restricting things, folks become the bootlegger of that thing. Some guy who's been making bullets all his life now is making hand over fist uh, m- money. Making homemade bullets out of his shed. You know, um, because people don't want to pay the premium prices that they would cost at the gun store. So I do agree that something has to change. Uh, Absolutely, more and more people who children commit crimes with their firearms should be held accountable. Um, I don't know what should happen to this girl, to the young girl. Um, but something has to happen. Um, I don't believe she should just get a slap on the wrist and sent home. But I don't think the rest of her life in jail um, is the answer either. Because even if she does 30 years in prison, man, all of her formative years have been in prison. Everything that she's learned will be prison. So when she comes out, she's adopted a prison mentality for 30 years, and you think you erase that in in the first couple of months, the first couple of weeks that you're home? I don't know. Now, bullet like stuff like that, man. Jason Madden. Um, it's always going to be that way because that's how the system is designed. You know, that is why uh, our young men from our communities are are the ones incarcerated at the largest clip. Um, simply because that's the way it's designed. The same reason none of us own cargo liners, you know, but somehow the cocaine get over here, somehow the heroin get over here, sometime somehow the MDMA gets over here and finds its ways uh into the lower end communities and in the hands of the brothers and cousins and fathers that are absent in the homes. Um, for those who are sitting there, Chuck, you're a conspiracy theorist. It's not true. Um, we read the papers. Contra is a real thing. Uh, we read the documents. COINTELPRO is a real thing. Um, yeah, prison in the South, man, is hard labor. See, you have so many things. You have so many forces working together. Let's check this out, right? Gun company, right? They are in bed with the government. They go golfing with these guys. They have dinner with these senators and governors that vote on these bills. They spend a lot of money in taxes. So uh just just like the pharmaceutical companies, um they pay major money and they're not regulated. How can you put out a drug where the side effect is death, but because you say that it's okay, then that drug costs thousands of dollars, right? How do you expect people? How do you expect people to afford these things? And then there's no liability if something happened because you put that disclaimer out there. At one point in time, man, before you could, even advertise things, you had to, the FDA had to give its approval. This is FDA approved. Um, so you have a conglomerate, the NRA, who have a lobbyist. They have people paid. They have people paid to get them through the loopholes. Um, so you have them making all of these guns. You know, all these guns aren't being sold legally. Just like with these pharmaceutical companies, like, like where's all this illegal oxycontin coming from? Where are these illegal Percocets coming from? You mean to tell me there are people in the hood whipping up perks? And if that's the case, how are these people? How are these people not in medical school? What happened? You know, but that's not the case. We know that's not the case. You know that that's how it operates. Just like it with most industries that are about making money, like the music industry, they will sell your album in the store and provide the bootleggers with copies of your album too. Um, Hey, Bodega Wi-Fi, I think you hit I think you hit the nail on the head with this, and I want to agree with this sentiment. They don't consider us Americans. They consider us a commodity or a consumer, nothing more, just a human resource. I absolutely agree. That's why you find more foreign businesses in our neighborhoods than not. And I ain't talking about Poppy, because Poppy's been there for several generations. Like we watched his sons grow up being little boys to stocking shelves to now working behind the counter to running the store. Like um they live in the community. I'm talking about, the folks that don't live in the community, that extract resources from the community, don't hire nobody from the community. They're rude to the people from the community. You don't like it, you leave. Those people. If we bother you that much, then why come bring your businesses to these neighborhoods? And I believe it is what Bodega Wi-Fi says that I agree with, that we are considered a commodity, a consumer, nothing more, nothing less. Um, Wait a minute. See, Wayne Peterson. Stuff like this. I'm not. I doubt you would put anything up here that is not true. Uh, but this being true, if this be true, an abandoned freight train was found in California and Chicago, full of automatic weapons just sitting in the hood. Why? How does that happen? How does that happen? You know why? Because that's a part of the setup. Yo, man, I know one time back in the day, man, getting a gun in the hood was a hard thing. And then when you bought one off of somebody, man, it man, it'll be such a piece of crap sometimes. A rusty revolver, um, or automatic gun that is in need of immediate cleaning because it looks like it's starting to corrode. Like, um, but now these guys have pristine weapons, man. AK-47s, Desert Eagles, AR-15s. Like, why? Yeah, man. Um, this country was built on slave labor. I know some of you are not going to want to hear this morning, but that's what it is. This country was built on slave labor, and in order for it to sustain itself, with the current model, somebody has to be somebody has to get the raw end of the deal. And since slavery has been illegal, the only place where all your rights can be taken away from you, and you can be treated uh, like a slave is in prison. And prisons have become a business. They're privately owned prisons um, that aren't ran well, uh, but they're not supposed to, because they are now the new manufacturing facilities here in the United States. The reason the United States can't compete with China or any of these other countries is because uh, they don't have the same labor laws. They don't have to. They don't have to pay their workers a minimum wage. But here you do. So businesses, they're not making as much money because they have to pay higher insurance premiums. They have to pay higher salaries and things like that. So they ship most of their businesses overseas, right? And the businesses that are here, um, a lot of them have money invested in prisons. Like, have you ever heard of such a concept? Like, you can buy stock in a prison. Like, usually when you buy stock, it's to get a return on your investment. How much of return can you get on a prison? Lots. When they're making money, uh, when they're making merchandises, various merchandise that is being sold and distributed for the highest dollar amount, but the workforce gets like $1, $2, $3 a day, not an hour, but a day. And then they have some old funky rules where they don't even get all of their money. Like they'll get taxes taken out of their money, um, but half of their money goes into a savings account, and then the other half is for them. A- absolutely, Bodega. It is absolutely a prison colony for sure. But we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to, really get into that because if you really want to jump down that rabbit hole, man, that's why I have a problem when you have uh black folks and white folks who are um staunch Republicans or staunch Democrats. If you're black and they don't care about us. The North didn't give didn't care about black people's well-being. That's not why they that's not why they got involved in the Civil War. It's because the southern colonies were making way more money than what they were making in the factories here in the north because they were paying people a wage. Whatever that wage was, they were paying it. But in the south, they had free labor. And it was like, oh no, 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 no. It's not fair. So no one can do this. No one can own slaves. And that doesn't make them not racist. It's just like, nah, We want the playing field to be even. But that's for them and not us. That's why you can have Democrats and Republicans do everything for every other group of people except us. Because they don't really care about us. Mike told us, man. They told us they don't care about the people. Because if they cared about the people, we wouldn't. Why do we need um, automatic hand, automatic rifles that can shoot 50 rounds? Like, why does a civilian need that? No, I haven't seen that bodega. I haven't seen that at all. But that seems intriguing, and I'm gonna check that out when I get some time. Um, I know there's some people right now thinking, "Oh man, y'all black people are still on this slavery thing. It's been get over it." And here's the thing: slavery may have ended, but then you just ushered in Jim Crow. You ushered in uh, mass incarceration. Um, the world was still segregated until 1964, maybe 65, depending on where you lived. Literally, you could not drink from the same water fountains or use the same bathrooms. Um, the the kids from Little Rock, those were little girls, man, that grown men were throwing bricks at. Teenage girls trying to go to school, 13, 14-year-old children. And this is what adults were doing in 1960 something. It is 2022. That was 60 some odd years ago, right? That's your parents' age. So don't tell me about what slavery was or how long ago it was when the residual effects have been a constant in the fabric of American history. It is, and guess what? They're never going to pay us that money ever. They just got to promise some stuff and never deliver, and black people be all on it. They say they're gonna do this. They say they're gonna do that, and they never do. Um, the government doesn't care about people, about the people, because if they did, things would go differently. Think about this. Think about this. Let's move it off of, because it's very easy to get caught up in the racial component, right? When it's really the have and the have-nots, and it's been like that throughout history, where the rich want to get richer and the poor is still poor, and they're going to forever be poor. Um, think back to things like what was the Boston Tea Party over? What was the real reason for leaving England? And I'm not talking about what they teach here, in U.S. history. Exactly, exactly, Bodega, exactly. But that's the thing. Even now, Wayne Peterson, they don't want you to build wealth. Think about all of the athletes and entertainers that make millions of dollars. Athletes that make 30 million a season, 20 million a season, or actors who make 15, 20 million dollars a picture. Um, these are very rich people. But what do they talk about? Opulence, being decadent, having more than others, right? Uh, for the past 20 years, or yeah, for about the past 20, maybe even 30 years, in hip hop, the message is spend that money. What you saving that money for? Like, how we know you rich if you're not spending it? Every time someone got some money, they will post it online. You know, have a whole stack of money, hold up to their face, like they talking on the phone. Um, Absolutely, they are the modern day gladiators. When people, when the people were complaining, what did they say? Give them games, give them entertainment. Um, and that's the thing about politics, man. People don't understand that's a job. That's a government job. To all of my adults right now paying bills that have jobs, you, having a government job is like the creme de la creme, especially if you don't have a degree specifically in something, but you know you've started off, entry level job with the city, and now you hold an office. You're a supervisor because you've been doing it for 20 something years. uh you get a hell of a pension and things like that. So people want to hold on to those jobs. Like people want, like here in the city, oh, you want you a city job. You want to work for parks and recreation. You want to work for sanitation. You want to work uh for MTA because you get a pension. Um and for the government, for people, government officials, they have these perks with their jobs. You know, there's someone always whining and dining them so that they can, vote on their bill. Like when these people stand on the Capitol floor and do all that huffing and puffing, and you're a leftist, you're a far right, you're a socialist, you're a communist. They're playing games with the people. These people are friends. They eat lunch together, they play golf together, their kids go to the same schools. Like, don't fall for the okey doke. You know how guys can, you know how when guys get in trouble and you're like, oh man, that lawyer is good. No, that lawyer is connected. They ain't even go to trial. You know why? Because he's friends with the prosecutor. He knows the judge. They sit down and they talk about this outside of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's rigged. Bodega. And this is why, um, and this is why when like I live not too far away from the Barclay, right? I can walk there. It's not that far. Maybe about 15-20 minute walk, right? Um I remember when that thing got built. And there was a holdup because for everyone who don't know, Brooklyn has become the new hotspot, right? Harlem was the rage a few years ago. Everyone's moving to Harlem. Harlem ain't the same. Harlem became gentrified, right? Now it's Brooklyn's turn, and there were a lot of warehouses and factories here in Brooklyn. Like there was one on Marcy, um, but that's apartments now. Um, or was that Myrtle and Willoughby? It was somewhere over there. Um, but nevertheless, I'm saying that to say that you had people from upstate in other places come to the city. They buy these warehouses and then they turn them into co-ops, right? Um, There were people living there. Like you can get little things built, in your house. You can call, you know, s- someone who does, carpentry work to come in and do stuff. But if the city finds out, you get fined. You'll get fined for that stuff. So you have to have paperwork in order. You have to have the inspectors come out and inspect your work to make sure things are up to code. This place is up and running. But then all of a sudden, they took those people's property from they made their property uh they rezoned their property like that. And then there was an uproar. And you know what they did? They came and pranced Jay-Z around in Brooklyn as part owner of the Nets, and he's doing this for the hood. How? Yo, the Barclays been here for what, almost 10 years. I can keep it like people go to the Barclays, but most of the people that go to the Barclays, a lot of those people get free tickets. They give away tickets. Bodega on Tillery, up on Tillery. There's a place called Tillery Towers. A studio apartment in that building starts at $999,000. Yeah, man. I'm reading some of these comments. That's the only reason why I'm pausing. I should have put on my glasses so I could see this. Yeah, man. Zoning is one of the biggest money makers nationwide, man, for sure. But this is what they do to us. Like they'll prance someone in front of us to quell, the uproar. Like people were very upset about what they did because guess what? They didn't do it to a bunch of black people. It was a There were multiracial people in there, but a majority of white people. And if they'll do that to white people, what do you think they'll do to us? That's not fair. That's wrong. They'll come in and just, oh, this whole block is rezoned and force you to sell for below market rate. And then now they have a whole neighborhood that they're going to charge millions of dollars for you to stay. Like I'm not rich, but around here there's a lot of opulence. You can see a Wraith at any given time, or a Porsche 911 GTR3 or GTRS, or Lexus LFA, or um, a Phantom, a Ghost, easy. But then you walk up a couple blocks, or you walk over a couple blocks, you got Ingersoll, you have Farragut, you have Marcy, you have Whitman, you have Tompkins, right? You have all of these housing complexes, um, surrounded by $1 million homes and uh, $1 million carriage houses. Um, I've had family um, that used to live on Bainbridge Street in Brooklyn. They had a brownstone. They sold it, years ago. Um, it was just resold. house that I knew cost like 80 or 90 grand when I was a kid was just resold for $4.5 million. This is the same street. We used to shoot Skelly at the end of the block. Uh, the same street that we would play football in the middle of the street. Uh, the same block where the girls were playing hopscotch. Same block where people were breakdancing. Same block. Uh, rest in peace when son got shot. Like the same block. Everything on that block is $1 million or better. 3 million, 4 million, 7. The house on the corner, $7 million. How? And then you have Fulton Projects right across the street. As soon as you cross over Lewis Avenue, there's Fulton Projects. Like how does that make sense? Yeah, I know that the city is convenient, but everywhere else you can get, you know, more bang for your buck. Oh yeah, absolutely. The cops are absolutely protecting the gentrification places, where the areas in which they're trying to build up. I'm gonna say this: as soon as Brownsville becomes gentrified, I'm out. I'm out of the city. I'm gone. I'm ghost. Like I'm gone. Bed-Stuy is a wrap. Do or die Bed-Stuy? Oh no, it's not that no more. Utica Park, Malcolm X, Patchen, Gates. Oh, nah, they ain't that no more. Gates Avenue. So when it comes to these housing projects, let me tell you, they've been trying to sell the housing complexes for about a decade now. And the only reason they haven't been sold is because none of the buyers want to buy the buildings with the people still in them. So they've been doing, you know, BS, like not fixing things, people being without heat during the winter, uh, um, elevators not working, uh, rodent problems, um, just stuff they refuse to fix. And what they do is when someone complains enough, they offer them another apartment in the Bronx or something like that, so that they'll move out, and then they'll keep that apartment vacant so that they can sell these buildings uh, for the kind of money that they could get. Um, and a misnomer about the housing complexes in New York is that the city owns them. They don't. They manage them. HUD owns these buildings. Um, and I found that out from a family member and my mom because they work for the city. Um, these are prime locations. Uh, where I'm located, um, it's almost like a little hot spot now because you got the Brooklyn Navy Yard. Um, the Brooklyn Navy Yard, they're adding more and more things to the Navy Yard. Uh, you have all kinds of movie studios and recording studios over at the Navy Yard. You got Wegmans, you got They were trying to bring a Walmart over there, but the people, well, the businesses in the area, they fought against it. Um, and like I said, you have the Barclays, you have even downtown Brooklyn is starting to change. Um, I think that Ala Wise mentioned Brooklyn Bridge Park. That place is amazing right now. After they're remodeling, revamping. Um, okay. Bodega Wi-Fi says he purchased a foreclosure in Florida during the 2008 crash. Yeah, man. I have a theory. I have a theory on that, but I don't want to. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it on the morning drive. Maybe I'll save that for chop it up so that we can really dissect that and dive into it. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, if this is your first time joining us, I'm your host Chuck Allen, uh, holding it down for your host Uncle Freezy, who's indisposed at the moment. But we're rocking and rolling here. June the 9th, a Thursday, June the 9th, uh, 2022. Uh, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that all notifications so that when we upload a video or we go live, you can come kick it with us, man. And one more thing, man, hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up, man. The more likes we get, the more we appreciate it, you know. And make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend who's going to tell a friend that they can come kick it with us too, man. Uh, we're just, a light morning show, just trying to get you through your day. Start your morning off right with a little bit of humor, some good storytelling, and sometimes some good information, man. Something that you can chew on for the day. Uh, this morning we talked about the incident with the 10-year-old girl in Florida and how sad that whole situation is. We touched on mass incarceration. We touched on gentrification, um, and we talked about violence. You know, uh, I really don't like talking. I really don't like talking too much about that because the news is so depressing, man. And I'm not trying to be the news, but certain topics, man, I just feel like we have to touch on and we have to address um, because they're real. You know, so chat. I have a question. I'm going to switch up. I'm going to switch it up a little bit. We've been heavy for about an hour or so. I want to switch it up. I want to talk to you. I want to ask a question. I want to ask a question. Um, I know this is celebrity gossip or nonsense, but I promise you, there's a point I want to make, or there's a part of this I want to dissect. So I guess the big news, I guess it's big news. I'm not sure, but Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey, they broke up, and they were saying that uh Mike wanted to settle down, she wasn't with it, so they broke up. Now, Michael B. Jordan is 35, Lori Harvey is 25. Um, was Michael B. Jordan out of pocket for dating someone 10 years his junior, uh should Mike have expected this 25-year-old girl to be ready for marriage? Is 25 years old too young? Was she wifey material from the beginning? These are the questions that I have because um I've I I know people that have gotten married 19, 20, 21. I even knew some teenagers that got married earlier than that. Their parents signed some papers for them to get married. I don't want to say my man's name, but um I think we were like 13. Yeah, I think we were like 13, 14, something like that. Um because he got the girl pregnant, and at the time in the South, man, you get a girl pregnant, that's it. Y'all together. And so that's basically what happened. Um I'm saying that to say that well, that particular situation didn't last because once they got like 18, 19, they got a divorce for sure. Um C Max says Lori Harvey belongs to the streets. No. Bodega Wi-Fi says no, he knows what he wants and set clear expectations. Savage NYC says Steve Harvey said he's Team Lori. Wayne Peterson says, I don't think he was out of pocket. Lori Harvey just wants to explore more options in the celebrity realm. Okay. So let me I'm gonna use this analogy and just walk with me real quick. I'm on my chic looch. Walk with me. Uh if you if you asked me for a bottle of water, hey Chuck, man, can you give me a bottle of water? And I'm like, oh, you want this bottle of water? Okay. And this is what I do. Before I hand it to you, I do this, right? Then before I give it to you, I pass it to the left. And then the next person takes a swig. And then before you know it, 10 people done took a swig out of that water before they hand it to you. Uh, are you still drinking that water? If someone offered you water or you asked for some water, and before you got that water, 10 other people took a sip out of it before you got it. I'm just giving the chat a little time to, to answer the question because this is a real question. Like if I asked you, if you asked me for a bottle of water and I go, yeah, sure. I crack it open, take a sip, and then pass it to the left. Don't pass it to you, pass it to the left. And then it finally makes its way around to you. Uh do you still want that water? Or are you going to be that thirsty to be like, oh man, I don't care, man. I just want some water. Right. That's all what I'm trying to say, and what I'm trying to get at is that how much of a prize are you going to be if you've been passed around? People say this all the time, and it's people that lack accountability. People will say, "Yo, man, everybody got passed," and I'm like, "Yeah, that is true." It's just like a Carfax. I don't mind a car that's had, 2 or 3, maybe 4 owners. But when you look at that Carfax and it says it's been owned by 10 different people and it's got 200,000 miles on it, you're like, oh man, heck no. And how much they want for it? Like right now in the car scene, E32s, the E32 M3 is shooting up in value. I was looking at one the other day. It was in I want to say San Bernardino, California. Uh, an '88 M3. It had 190,000 miles on it. It had been owned by 11 different. The title of that car had been changed 11 times. They wanted $99,000. Chuck, I'd never pay that much for that. Never. 88. And I'm like, yeah. But there's somebody who is going to, because they enjoy M3s that much. The E32 is supposed to be the holy grail, the best driving experience, the best handling, the purest BMW before they started throwing overwhelming technology at the car. But a BMW enthusiast, someone that knows about BMWs, will be like, nah, man, that's not a good purchase. Especially if you're not getting all of that vehicle's history, well documented maintenance reports, all of the major mechanical issues were fixed or have been addressed, and here's the paperwork showing that. A BMW enthusiast to be like, nah, man, that's too many owners of that car. That car has changed hands too many times. But someone who really wants the car, really wants to own one, will pay that price just to say that they have one. But a real collector is going to wait till they find the low mileage, low ownership car, because they know that that car hasn't passed through so many hands and been touched by so many people. Everybody don't drive the same, man. I had homeboys like, you get in that car like, yo, you need a trash bag, my man. Like, there's mad trash in the footwell over here in the passenger side. Like, yo, I gotta clean out trash before I get in your car. I used to hate that with chicks too. Like, yo, shorty, just give me your keys, yo. I'm about to go to the car wash, man. This is ridiculous. As soon as I got in your car, it smelled like burgers and fries. Like, come on. So I went on that long analogy just to say, um, your history do mean something. It absolutely does. And then when people tell you, "Oh man, you're just insecure," that's more code language to shame you into not agreeing or not being down with the nonsense that a person is kicking. Nah, man. Nah, man. That's why I brought up the analogy about the water. That's something simple. It's just water. Like you're not gonna drink water behind 10 people, but you're gonna smash behind 10 people. Listen, the dating, you can date as many people as you want. You know, it's dating. It's like going out on dates and stuff like that and hanging out. You can do that with as many people as you want. But getting into relationships, and you're in relationship after relationship after relationship, clearly, she's looking for a specific type, in my opinion. In my opinion, and sometimes the apple don't fall too far from the tree. You feel me? Um, because we seeing there come up. Like, don't get this twisted. That's not Steve Harvey's daughter, biological daughter. Let me say that, because that is his daughter, but not biologically. No, he didn't raise that child from a baby. Um, Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I want to say, yo, I like. I really rocked with Megan Good. Uh, until she was dating Soldier Boy. I was like, that's strange. That's strange. Um, she's still bad. Um, Megan Good wasn't the problem. It was Mr. Franklin. It was the preacher. Um, I grew up in the church. I know how church dudes think, man. Church dudes be wanting to save hoes, man. I'm telling you. Because they don't, you know what I'm saying? Guys who are really uh into their faith and abstaining until marriage, them dudes, man, their brains be gone, man. Them dudes be hornier than a mug. And then here you got this girl doing all of these things, or saying she's doing all of these things that you want done, and she fine. Well, in his mind, he's like, well, if I could just love her, if I just love her the right way, she'll see. Nah, man, that brought for the streets. But church dudes don't be knowing that, man, because they don't be out there. You know what I'm saying? And one of my pet peeves with the church was like, yo, y'all don't be keeping it real. Y'all don't keep it real. Like, if you're gonna tell me what's in that Bible, tell me the parts that I need to know that's gonna help me survive these days and times. Talk to me about, soul ties and why it's important not to be going around here knocking down everything. You know, tell me something other than, oh, you want to go to hell? You want to burn in hell for fornicating? Yes, I do. Fornicating is amazing. Because I guarantee you, if you were fornicating, you wouldn't be talking like that. Nah, I'm just nah, man. But yeah, man. Like, he was trying to save her. Can't save her. She don't want to be saved. She tried. She tried, but she couldn't. She couldn't hold it down. Like, she wasn't being herself, and that was wrong. That was wrong on both of their parts, man. him trying to save her, and her pretending to want to be saved. Hey man, runners, man. Every now and then they'll try to be normal for a little bit, but them streets gonna come out sooner or later, especially if not in your heart to be that. Shorty was still smoking and shit. I was like, oh, this ain't gonna last. He's a preacher, man. He can't, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, that's unfortunate, man. A lot of hey man, the yes. Um you have a lot of this saving going on. Um I know a very very beautiful young lady, man. Well, she's not a young lady. She's in her 40s. She's a mature woman. She don't look her age. She look every bit of like 27. Like she hasn't really aged since high school, to be honest with you, man. Um Gorgeous. Has a decent job. Um but she be trying to save dudes. And when you see her, you be like, yo, get the she wait a minute. She could get any dude. She could, but she choose to save these bum dudes. And I'm like, yo. Like she would call me from time to time, you know what I mean? And she'll be wanting to talk to me for like 2 or 3 hours about dude. And I'm like, yo, listen, I got the story the first hour, right? And I gave you an extra 30, 40 minutes thinking you could get it off your chest. But now you want to go another hour and some change? Nah, shorty, not gonna be able to do it. Like you the homie, I love you, but nah. Like that boy don't like why would you invest your time into someone that can't reciprocate that? They're never gonna do that. Like shorty, you don't even smoke. As long as I've known you, like I've never seen you. Well, that's not true. I've seen you smoke once. Um, but you're not a smoker. But you gotta buy weed for this dude. Can you buy me a pack of cigarettes? Like what? Like who? Like who are these? Like why? Oh, he didn't have a car, so you co-sign on a new Mustang GT and you put the money down. What is wrong with you? Like you don't need a man. You don't need a man that bad. I promise you, you don't. Um, I promise you, you don't. And two, if you just chill, the right dude will come along, man. But you trying to say these bum dudes. Yo, this dude said, yo, he was gonna sell purses at the flea market, yo. Yo, he was coming up here going to Canal Street and buying purses. Yo, so God. I hate them. So she calls me and she's like, hey, yo, Chuck, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to price some purses. And I'm like, price purses? Like, why would you call me to ask me to price purses? Like, Shorty, I don't rock purses. I don't know about no damn purses. And she's like, no, I want you to go to where they sell the bootleg purses. I was like, oh, Canal Street. Yeah. So you want me to, how much would it be to, buy them in bulk? Okay, bet. I can do that for you. I'll find that. I'll get that info for you. Because I knew a couple dudes around the way. Um, like in my aunt. in my aunt's building, um, there's a cat that you know what I'm saying, he was always with the bootleg. Like as long as I known him, like he was always with the bootleg hustle. From the DVDs to CDs, incense, cologne, like son had it all. So I, you know what I'm saying, I hit him up. Well, I hit my aunt up, and then she, you know, got the word to him, and he hit me up, and so I called her back with the number. So so she yeah, man, Flushing is better. Flushing is better. Flushing is better. Um, so I made, you know, I went and, you know, I grabbed like 50, I grabbed like 50 bags for her. She shot me the bread. I went and grabbed like 50 bags for her. And so you know what I'm saying, I got them to her or whatever. And so this is what, you know, the boy's supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? And so like he wouldn't get up to like 1, and then he'll spend like 2 hours getting ready before he go out to try to go sell these bags. And I was like, yo, what kind of Jody baby boy bulls? Like, yo, so long story short, her birthday is in May. It's in the beginning of May, right? So um mind you, I don't get a call for a re-up for a minute. So I'm like, damn, these bags must be moving slow. And I know they ain't moving slow because everybody want bags, right? You know what I'm saying? So boom. Uh she hits me up. She's tight. You know, one of the bags that I sent that she had me go pick out and, you know, send to her, he gives to her as a birthday gift, as a birthday present, right? Then the next day it was like, that bag was $50. N word. Like I want to say the other derogatory because I mean it. I mean it in a derogatory way. Like N word. Are you crazy? Like she the one who even bought these bags for you to get this little hustle on, and you gonna try to charge her for a bag? First of all, you gave her one of the bags, right, for her birthday, and you done had these bags mad long that you should have gotten. Like, you should have been getting, you know, a new shipment, but you still got the same 50 bags. Um, and then you try to charge her for it. Like, yo, you're crazy. And I'm looking at my friend. I'm like, but why though? But why though? Like, why are you trying to? Like, why you like this dude is trash. And I don't like saying that about people in general. You know what I'm saying? Because people aren't trash, but he's a trashy individual. He's a trashy human being. Like I get into some more stuff. Like his mom, Duke's embarrassing him and all kinds of stuff. Uh, repos, like I can get the long list of stuff. And I was like, yo, shorty, like you don't even have to like like you have to be better. And that's just my opinion, man. You gotta be better than that, man. Because you deserve better than that, for sure. Like you can't be out here saving people. Um, and so I'm not saying, you know, per se that Michael B. Jordan was trying to save Lori, but this brother has to know, like this chick is not looking for marriage. And then two, y'all don't want to play that game too long, man. Yo, I got time, and you go, use up all your good years playing around, and now that you old or older and kind of used up, you think somebody's going to, come in and clean up and be happy. And it's like, maybe if I was a thirsty dude, you know what I'm saying? A thirsty dude is still going to drink that water, even if Tim. Oh, my mic is still hissing. How am I sounding, guys? Am I sounding all right? Let me get a thumbs up in the chat if I'm sounding better, or if I'm still popping and hissing. Yeah, man. You guys have to yeah, salute. We got Uncle Freezy in the chat. Shout out to Uncle Freezy. Yeah, I hope everything went well. Oh, y'all hearing bells? Okay. All right.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
All right. Well, I guess what? What I'm going to do is go ahead and wrap. How about that? Because I don't know what's going on right now. Um, I think today we had a pretty good show, man. I think we had a really, really good show today. Um, I want to thank everybody for coming through. Uh, wait, just to tie up, the conversation. Hopefully, I'm not popping and hissing too bad. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, man, one, we have to be very careful, man. We have to protect our children. You know, we have to do something with something about America's appetite for destruction and gratuitous violence, because we having 10-year-old babies killing people. Um, the system is rigged, and we know it. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there, don't stretch yourself too thin. If you're not ready for marriage, that's cool, but don't stretch yourself thin. Gentlemen, just because she fine don't mean you got to knock it down, man. Soul ties is a real thing. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, be a little more wiser in how you move. Um, be a little more studious of your surroundings. Understand the people that you're getting involved with. Um, Set clear and defined objectives so that there's no misunderstandings down the road. Um, and this is for men and women. Don't be out here trying to save these hoes. These whole dudes and these whole women. Don't be out here trying to save them, man. Let them play, and you find the man or the woman that is going to fulfill what you want, what you need, that is going to complete you. I hope everybody have a great rest of their day. Absolutely, Bodega, raise your standards, man, and have standards, not delusions of grandeur. There's a difference. There's a standard of conduct. There's a standard of presentation. There should be standards in those areas, not this superficial, delusional crap that people try to. Um, they're trying to make preferences a standard. You know, she got to be thick in the waist, hips and thighs, or he got to be 6'5" and dark skin. Like those aren't standards. Being loyal, being compassionate, being a person of their word. That those type of things. The contents of their character, right? But anyway, I ain't here to preach. I just came to lighten your day, man. We've been kicking it for almost 2 hours. Chuck Allen has been running his mouth for 2 hours. Who would have thought, man? I had such a blast kicking it with the vibrant ones today. Man, the chat, man, we were going back and forth, having a good dialogue. It was a great show, man. And if it's your first time joining us, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click all notifications so that when we upload and go live, you'll know and you can come kick it with us. Make sure you hit that like button, man. Thumbs up, man. Get us up in the algorithm. Make sure you comment, share, tell a friend to tell a friend who's going to tell a friend. To all the vibrant ones, again, man, have a great day. We'll be back here tomorrow between the hours of 8 a.m.ish to about 9 a.m.ish with Jams Friday, man. Thank God it'll be Friday. You know what I mean? So everybody have a great day. Whenever KMD jumps off, make sure you go over there and you support, man. Let's talk these Knicks. Until tomorrow, vibrant ones. Peace.